Practice is well underway here, 64 minutes and 24 seconds left on the clock, with Niall Gagan yet to set a time. Down to 63 minutes and 55 seconds remaining in this practice session, and Jareth Hallam is another driver yet to log a lap time.
Sometimes you just want to get a feel for the car, maybe check systems, before you really push, especially in these early practice runs.
Niall Gagan still without a timed lap, currently navigating the Longford corner section of the track with 63 minutes and 23 seconds left on the clock. Jareth Hallam, still no time on the board, currently making his way through Longford corner as the clock ticks down to 62 minutes and 51 seconds.
This early in a session, you're not always looking for outright pace, sometimes it's just about finding that rhythm, feeling the grip through a complex corner like Longford.
"62 minutes and 19 seconds remaining in this practice session, and Niall Gagan still hasn't registered a lap time. Jareth Hallam has finally put a time on the board, a 8:12.643, slotting him into third position as he powers down the Tannery Straight. Niall Gagan still out there, yet to set a time, now navigating the flying mile with 61 minutes and 15 seconds remaining. Phil Bodkin clocks a 5:50.796, good enough for second position as he enters the flying mile, 60 minutes and 43 seconds left. And there it is. Niall Gagan finally puts a time on the board, a rapid 2:29.441, straight into first position.
That's a strong statement early on. Getting a benchmark like that allows you to really fine-tune the car in the remaining session time, knowing you have pace.
Jareth Hallam responds immediately, a 2:25.630, taking over the top spot. He's currently at Kings Bridge. Phil Bodkin improves his time, a 2:31.703, but that only moves him into 4th position.
He's finding some pace, but the top drivers are really pushing hard in these opening minutes. It shows you how competitive this field is.
Thomas Kruger Dorado slots into 2nd position with a 2:27.864, just under 2/10 off Hallam.
That's a very respectable time for his first real push lap. He'll be looking to shave off those small margins now, finding grip where he can.
Phil Bodkin remains in 4th with his 2:31.703 as we pass the 58-minute mark.
He might be focusing on longer runs, or perhaps testing different car setups. Not everyone shows their hand early on.
Niall Gagan improves his time to a 2:29.308, moving him up to 3rd, currently on the Tannery Straight. Phil Bodkin still holding on to 4th with his 2:31.703 as we approach 57 minutes remaining.
It's important to remember this is practice. Some drivers are doing tire evaluations, others working on specific corners. It's not always about the ultimate lap time right away.
Nigel Walters is another driver who has yet to log a time, with 56 minutes and 26 seconds remaining in this session. Thomas Kruger Dorado still strong in 2nd with his 2:27.864, just under a minute remaining for this segment of the session.
He's consistent, which is key. Getting a good baseline and then working from there is crucial in practice.
Nigel Walters, still without a time on the board, 55 minutes and 22 seconds left in the session.
He might have had an issue on his out lap, or perhaps just taking his time getting comfortable with the conditions. There's plenty of time left.
Jimmy Lindo is out on track, currently in Tannery Corner, still yet to set a lap time with 54 minutes and 50 seconds left.
This corner can be tricky. Sometimes you spend the first few laps just getting a feel for the car's balance through it, not pushing for a time.
Thomas Kruger Dorado holds second position with a 2:27.864. He's currently in the viaduct section. Nigel Walters, still without a time, navigating through Longford corner with just over 54 minutes remaining.
He'll want to get a time in soon, just to give the engineers some data. Even a conservative lap is useful.
Phil Bodkin remains in fourth with his 2:31.703, currently making his way through Tannery Corner. Niall Gagan in third with a 2:29.308, now at Kings Bridge. Phil Bodkin holds fourth with his 2:31.703, currently navigating the viaduct section as the session approaches 52 minutes and 47 seconds. Niall Gagan maintains third position with that 2:29.308, over 52 minutes still remaining in this session.
He's got a solid base time there. Now he'll be looking at the data, seeing where he can push a little harder, maybe fine-tune the braking points.
Thomas Kruger Dorado still comfortable in second place with his 2:27.864.
He's looking very composed out there. It's about building confidence with the car and the track, lap by lap, without taking unnecessary risks in practice.
Jareth Hallam continues to lead the way with his impressive 2:25.630 as we approach the 51-minute mark. Nigel Walters, still without a time, navigates Longford corner with 50 minutes and 39 seconds left.
He needs to get a clean lap in. Even if it's not fast, understanding the car's behavior across a full lap is vital for later setup changes.
Niall Gagan still sitting in third with his 2:29.308, currently in the viaduct section.
He's consistent around that time. I wonder if they're trying different lines through viaduct, which can really affect your exit onto the next straight.
Thomas Kruger Dorado remains in second position, his 2:27.864 looking solid. And Nigel Walters finally posts a time, a 3:26.731, putting him into 5th position as he navigates Long Bridge. Jimmy Lindo, still no time on the board, with 48 minutes and 30 seconds left in practice. Adam Tiaz is another name yet to register a lap time, with 47 minutes and 58 seconds left in this session. Niall Gagan still third with his 2:29.308 as we tick down to 47 minutes and 26 seconds remaining.
He's been consistent. Now he'll be looking to extract a little more, perhaps push the limits of the car's balance in some of the high-speed sections.
Adam Tiaz is on track, currently at Tannery Corner, but still without a time lap.
He's taking his time. Sometimes you need to warm up the tires and brakes properly before attempting a flying lap, especially on a cool track.
Jimmy Lindo, still no time, 46 minutes and 22 seconds left in this practice session. Niall Gagan maintains his hold on third position with that 2:29.308. Jareth Hallam's 2:25.630 continues to set the benchmark for this practice session. Adam Tiaz is now in the viaduct section, still searching for that first time lap, with 44 minutes and 46 seconds to go. Nigel Walters remains in 5th position with his 3:26.731 as we count down to 44 minutes and 38 seconds. Phil Bodkin has improved his time to a 2:29.992, placing him in 4th position with 44 minutes and 10 seconds left.
That's a good step forward for him. Sometimes it takes a few runs to really start to feel where the limits are, and that improvement shows he's finding them.
Nigel Walters holds 5th with his 3:26.731, 43 minutes and 37 seconds remaining. Niall Gagan, in 3rd with a 2:29.308, is now on the pit straight.
This is where you can really feel the aero working. A good exit from the final corner onto the straight can shave off precious hundredths.
Thomas Kruger Dorado in 2nd, his 2:27.864 looking strong as he navigates Longford corner.
He's keeping the pressure on Hallam. Getting Longford right is key for the flow of the next few corners. It's a make or break section for lap time.
Niall Gagan improves again, a 2:28.954, holding on to 3rd position.
He's consistently chipping away at his time. That shows he's exploring the car's potential and getting more confident with the track conditions.
Jimmy Lindo, still no time on the board, with 41 minutes and 29 seconds remaining.
This is getting late in the session for him to not have a time. Hopefully, there's no technical issue and he can get out soon.
Martin Mull is another driver yet to register a lap time as we approach the final 40 minutes. Jareth Hallam's 2:25.630 continues to lead the way, now with just over 40 minutes remaining.
He's looking very strong out there. That early fast lap has given him a great foundation for the rest of practice.
Nigel Walters, in 5th, currently on the pit straight, still with his 3:26.731.
He needs to find some serious pace if he wants to challenge the front runners. That time is quite a bit off the leaders.
Thomas Kruger Dorado holds second position with his 2:27.864, just over 39 minutes to go.
He's consistent, but to challenge for the top, he'll need to find a way to shave off that 2-second deficit.
Martin Mull is out there, in the flying mile, yet to post a lap time. Adam Tias posts a strong 2:28.789, slotting him into third position. Phil Bodkin is now down to fifth position with his 2:29.992. Neil Constable Barry is another driver still without a time, 37 minutes and 13 seconds left.
We're getting past the halfway point here. The pressure will be on to get a representative lap in soon.
Adam Tias holding strong in third with his 2:28.789, a good showing for him.
That's a very competitive time. He'll be happy with that initial marker, and now he can work on optimizing other aspects of his driving.
Neil Constable Barry still hasn't registered a time, 36 minutes and 8 seconds remaining. Niall Gagan drops to fifth now with that 2:28.954, as other drivers find more pace.
He'll need to respond. The track is rubbering in, and conditions are improving, so we expect times to keep tumbling.
Jimmy Lindo finally posts a time, a 2:31.236, placing him in seventh position.
Good to see him get a time on the board. Now he has something to build on for the remainder of the session.
Nigel Walters is now down to 8th position, navigating the viaduct, still with that 3:26.731. Elliot Norton is another driver who has not yet set a lap time, 33 minutes and 28 seconds left. Niall Gagan in 5th, navigating Longford corner, still on that 2:28.954.
He might be doing some longer run simulation, or working on how the car handles with varying fuel loads. Practice isn't just about hot laps.
Joel Lemrick yet to set a time, with 32 minutes and 24 seconds remaining. Niall Gagan drops another spot, now in 6th with his 2:28.954.
The midfield is really tightening up. Every tenth counts, and he'll be feeling the pressure to find more pace.
Martin Mull with a fantastic lap, a 2:27.907, catapulting him into 3rd position.
That's an impressive first-timed lap. He's found pace immediately, which is a great sign for the weekend.
Elliot Norton still hasn't registered a time, just over 30 minutes left in practice.
He needs to get a lap in, if only for the sake of the engineers. Understanding the car on track is vital even if the time isn't competitive.
Nigel Walters improves dramatically, a 2:29.767, moving him up to 7th position. Niall Gagan still in 6th, now at Kings Bridge, with that 2:28.954.
Kings Bridge is a fast section. Getting the entry and exit speed just right makes a big difference to your next straight line speed.
Joel Lemrick, still no time on the board, 29 minutes and 12 seconds remain. Martin Mull holds third with his 2:27.907, currently on the pit straight.
He's really found his rhythm quickly. That's the sign of a driver confident in his car and his ability to push it to the limit.
Adam Tiaz improves his time to a 2:28.163, moving him into fourth position.
He's finding more pace with every run. That's a good step closer to the front too, and he'll be looking to challenge them soon.
Martin Mull with an incredible lap, a 2:26.224, jumping into second position. Niall Gagan responds with a 2:27.440, moving up to fourth position, currently at Kingsbridge.
He's really putting some effort in now. It's a game of chess out there, constantly reacting to what your rivals are doing.
Elliot Norton still without a time, 26 minutes and 31 seconds remaining in practice.
Time is really ticking away for him. He'll want to get something on the board soon to avoid starting qualifying completely blind.
Nigel Walters remains in 8th with his 2:29.767 as the session winds down towards 25 minutes.
He's made a decent improvement, but the competition is stiff. He'll need to find more if he wants to move up the order.
Tim Weller is out on track, in Tannery Corner, yet to register a lap time.
This late in practice, he'll be pushing for a quick lap straight away. No time for gentle warm-ups now.
Adam Tiaz improves to a 2:27.721, but that only puts him into 6th position as he heads into the viaduct. Jimmy Lindo improves to a 2:29.060, moving him to 8th, currently at Kingsbridge.
He's finding his feet now. Every lap brings more confidence, and you start to push the boundaries of the car and the track.
Thomas Kruger Dorado with a much improved 2:26.460, putting him into 4th position. Jareth Hallam extends his lead with a blistering 2:24.568. He's on the Tannery straight and looking mighty quick.
Wow, that's a statement lap. He's really found the sweet spot with that car. That kind of pace demoralizes the competition.
Tim Weller, still no time on the board, navigating Newry Corner with 22 minutes and 48 seconds left.
He needs to get a lap in, even a conservative one. It's crucial for gathering data for the engineers.
Martin Mull holds third position with his 2:26.224, just under 22 minutes remaining.
He's keeping himself in contention. Being consistent and fast is the key, and he's showing both today.
Chris Stokes is another driver yet to set a lap time, 21 minutes and 44 seconds left in practice.
We're really getting into the crunch time for those who haven't logged a run yet. The track conditions are optimal right now.
Phil Bodkin improves his time to a 2:29.331 but drops to 10th position. Martin Mull still strong in third with his 2:26.224, with 20 minutes and 40 seconds remaining. Neil Constable Barry finally on the board, a 2:28.519, putting him in 8th position as he navigates Longford Corner. Jareth Hallam's 2:24.568 continues to dominate the top of the leaderboard. Elliot Norton posts a 2:29.179, good enough for 9th position. Thomas Kruger Dorado still in 4th, his 2:26.460 holding up well. Martin Mole with another superb effort, a 2:25.675, moving him into second position, just a second off Hallam.
That's a significant jump for Mole. He's really found his rhythm and is pushing hard. That's how you make a statement in practice.
Phil Bodkin remains in 10th, navigating Longford corner, with 17 minutes and 27 seconds left.
He's consistent, but I wonder if they're struggling to unlock that extra bit of pace. Sometimes you hit a ceiling with a particular setup.
Joel Lemerick clocks a 2:25.723, a very strong lap putting him into third position. Rich Snape is on track, in the viaduct section, yet to register a time.
He's cutting it fine. With just over 16 minutes left, he'll need to make this first flying lap count.
Adam Tiaz improves his time to a 2:27.128, still in 6th position, currently in the viaduct.
He's making progress, but the top 5 are really starting to pull away now. The gap is becoming noticeable.
Jareth Hallam's 2:24.568 remains unchallenged at the top as we head into the final 15 minutes. Jimmy Lindo with a much improved 2:27.315, moving him to 7th position, currently at Long Bridge.
That's a solid lap. He's found a significant chunk of time, which will give him a lot of confidence going into qualifying.
Thomas Kruger Dorado holds 5th position with his 2:26.460, 14 minutes and 15 seconds remaining.
He's been consistent, but he'll need to find more pace if he wants to challenge the top 3. They've really picked up the speed.
Neil Constable Barry with a strong lap, a 2:26.404, putting him into 4th position as he navigates Tannery Corner. Joel Lemerick maintains his 3rd position with that 2:25.723 as we enter the final 13 minutes.
He's looking very comfortable and fast out there. This bodes well for his qualifying session.
Rich Snape posts a 2:30.149, placing him in 12th position, currently in Newry Corner.
It's a start for him. Now that he has a baseline, he can begin to push and find some more time in these last minutes.
Jareth Hallam, now in second with his 2:24.568, is in the pub corner section of the track.
He's still got great pace, but it shows how quickly things can change in these final minutes when everyone's pushing for a hot lap.
Thomas Kruger Dorado improves his time to a 2:26.107, holding 4th position, currently in Newry Corner.
He's consistent, running similar times on different laps. That consistency is key to building a race weekend, but he'll need to find a burst of outright pace soon.
Rich Snape holds 12th with his 2:30.149, 11 minutes and 17 seconds left. Nigel Walters now in 12th with his 2:29.767 on the pit straight. Rich Snape drops to 13th position with his 2:30.149, now just over 10 minutes remaining. Jimmy Lindo holds 7th with his 2:27.315, currently in the viaduct section. Adam T is still in 6th with his 2:27.128, just over 9 minutes remaining.
He's been working hard all session. Consistency is there, now he needs to find that extra push to challenge the top 5.
Chris Stokes is out on track, and Kingsbridge, still without a time, 8 minutes and 51 seconds to go. Rich Snape holds 13th with his 2:30.149, now just over 8 minutes remaining. Jimmy Lindo in 7th, his 2:27.315 still his best time, 7 minutes and 47 seconds left. Rich Snape in 13th, 7 minutes and 15 seconds left, still on his 2:30.149.
He'll be looking to make some significant improvements in these last few runs. The clock is ticking if he wants to get closer to the midfield.
Joel Lemerick holds on to third position with his 2:25.723, under 7 minutes remaining.
He's had a really strong session. That time puts him in a great position for qualifying, showing he has the raw pace.
Elliot Norton in 9th, his 2:29.179 still his best, now on the pit straight. Jimmy Lindo holds 7th with his 2:27.315 as we dip under 6 minutes remaining.
He's had a decent practice session, showing good consistency and pace. He'll be happy with that going into qualifying.
Rich Snape in 13th, 5 minutes and 27 seconds left, on the Tannery straight, still with that 2:30.149. Adam T is still in 6th with his 2:27.128, navigating Longford corner.
He's been right there in the mix all session. Longford is a corner where you can gain or lose a lot, depending on your setup and bravery.
Martin Mole with an absolutely phenomenal lap, a 2:24.451, snatching the top spot away from Helm.
What a way to put down a marker. He's found incredible pace in these closing minutes. That's a real confidence booster for the team.
Thomas Kruger Dorado still in 4th, 3 minutes and 51 seconds left, in pub corner, with his 2:26.107.
He's been consistent throughout, but now he needs to find a way to extract that ultimate lap time to challenge Mole and Hallam.
Chris Stokes finally posted time, a 4:04.786, placing him in 14th as he goes through the water tower section. Martin Mole holds his lead, the 2:24.451 still the fastest time on the board. Jareth Hallam, in second, is in pub corner, trying to find that extra tenth, 2 minutes and 15 seconds left.
He's definitely pushing. You can feel the intensity even in practice during these last few minutes. Everyone wants to end on a high.
Adam Tia is still in sixth, with his 2:27.128 as we approach the final minute and a half. Phil Bodkin remains in 11th, in the viaduct, 1 minute and 29 seconds left, still on his 2:29.331.
He's been consistent, but will he go for one last push? These last few laps are where drivers really throw everything at it.
Thomas Kruger Dorado holds fourth, his 2:26.107, as the clock ticks down to under a minute. Joel Lemrick in third with his 2:25.723, currently navigating Long Bridge, as the session nears its end. Elliot Norton finishes practice in 9th position, his best time at 2:29.179, with only 6 seconds left on the clock. Rich Snape finishes his practice session in 13th place, holding his 2:30.149. Thomas Kruger Dorado remains in fourth with his 2:26.107, pushing down the Tannery straight with just 1 minute and 10 seconds left.
He's got limited time to improve that. On a straight like Tannery, it's all about carrying maximum speed from the previous corner. Every fraction of a second counts here.
Tim Weller with a good late lap, a 2:28.489, placing him into 9th position. Elliot Norton drops to 11th, his 2:29.179 still his best time, as we near the final 2 minutes. Welcome to Longford, everyone, as we get ready for what promises to be an exciting qualifying session here at this historic 1960s circuit, with a persistent 6-knot wind already a factor.
That wind can really upset the balance in places, particularly through the faster turns. You're constantly making small adjustments to keep the car settled.
The clock is ticking down now, just over 4.5 minutes left in this session, and Neil Constable Barry is still yet to post a qualifying time.
You'll need to get out there quickly. One mistake, one spin, and suddenly your session is over before you've even had a chance to put a clean lap together.
Meanwhile, Thomas Kruger Dorado is on track now, through the King's Bridge section, but still without a recorded lap time as the session quickly winds down to just over 4 minutes remaining. Nigel Walters is now making his way along the Tannery Straight, the pressure really mounting as the session drops below the 4-minute mark, and he still needs to set a time.
Thomas Kruger Dorado is now pushing hard through the long bridge section. With less than 3.5 minutes left, every tank will count if he's to get a decent position.
Elliot Norton is another driver yet to log a time, and he's currently flying through the flying mile. The clock is really ticking now, just 2 minutes, 45 seconds remain.
The flying mile is where you really need to be committed, keeping the car straight and smooth to carry all that momentum. It's exhilarating but a real test of nerve.
Time is quickly running out for Neil Constable Barry. He desperately needs to get a lap in, with only 2 minutes and 19 seconds remaining in this critical qualifying session. A dramatic finish to qualification as Neil Constable-Barry posts a 2:27.417 on his very first lap, putting him straight into pole position with just seconds left on the clock.
Joel Lemerick is on the pit straight, still without a time. This is his final chance to get a lap in, but it's going to be tight with only 21 seconds remaining.
Jareth Hallam is still out there, yet to set a time, with less than 45 seconds left in the session. This is going right down to the wire.
You're pushing absolutely everything at this point, no holding back. It's all or nothing to get a lap on the board.
Elliot Norton has set a 2:28.102 on his first attempt, putting him 7th, but he's currently 8 seconds off that pace on his current run. He'll need to find something special.
Thomas Kruger Dorado has managed a 2:26.469, currently P4, but he's well off that pace through Long Bridge on this lap, over 12 seconds slower.
Elliot Norton has slipped down to P8 with his 2:28.102, and he's currently another 8.5 seconds down on his personal best. That's not the lap he needs.
When you're pushing that hard, it's easy to make a small mistake that costs you a lot of time. Sometimes a less aggressive but clean lap is faster.
Welcome to Longford, 1960s style, where a gentle 4-knot breeze won't deter these gladiators as they prepare for battle.
Hallam on pole, a Corvette Grand Sport, Pro-Am class. That's a lot of power to manage from the front row, especially into that first corner. You've got to be smooth off the line to avoid wheel spin.
Lining up alongside him, the Flying Dutchman, Martin Mole, in the sleek Matra M630 BRM, a pure pro driver.
That Matra is a formidable machine. Mole will be looking to get the jump on Hallam, using that lighter, more agile chassis to his advantage in the initial acceleration.
And Thomas Kruger Dorado, another UK driver, starts from 4th, piloting the iconic Shelby Daytona Coupe, also in the Pro-Am class.
The Daytona Coupe, a classic. From 4th, Dorado will have a good view of the action ahead. The key here is not to lose too many positions in the initial jostle, especially with those fast-starting cars around him.
Chris Stokes, representing England, in the nimble Porsche 910 sixths, positioned on the 3rd row in 6th place, another Pro-Am contender. Just behind Stokes, in 7th, we have Tim Weller, another Brit, in a Shelby Daytona Coupe, competing in the Am class.
7th is a tough spot. You're right in the thick of it with cars all around. Weller will need to be assertive but careful to protect his line, especially with those powerful cars on his inside and outside.
Further back on the grid, in 9th position, Niall Gagan from Ireland in the beautiful Alfa Romeo Tipo 33, an M-class driver looking to make progress. And Adam Tiaz, from England, completes our top 10 starters in the Matra M630 BRM, also an M-class competitor.
T is in a Matra at 10th, that's a car with huge potential. He'll be hoping to leverage that power through the pack, but he'll need to be precise picking his overtaking spots early on.
Starting from 12th, Phil Bodkin from England, in the agile Porsche 910/6, another M-Class driver in the mix.
Nigel Walters, the UK driver, starts from lucky 13 in the Ferrari Dino 206S Berlinetta. From that far back, the first few laps are critical for making up ground without taking unnecessary risks.
Jimmy Lindo, from an unknown origin, lines up in 14th in the Porsche 910/6, another M-Class entry.
In that middle of the pack, you have to be ready for anything. It's often where the biggest gains, or indeed losses, are made on the first lap.
The lights are out, and we are racing here at Longford. A fantastic start.
Everyone's fighting for that crucial track position in the turn one. You can feel the tension as they unleash all that horsepower.
Jareth Howell, that Corvette, has held onto the lead. A solid start from pole position.
He got a great launch. Keeping that big Corvette straight and putting the power down perfectly, that's what you need to do to lead into the first corner.
Dorado, in the Daytona Coupe, has slipped a spot, down to 5th from his 4th place start.
He might have been a little cautious, or perhaps just got squeezed out. It's easy to lose a position or two in that initial melee, but plenty of time to get it back.
Dorado remains in 5th, after that slight drop on the initial push.
He'll be looking to settle in now, find his rhythm and see where he can pick up the pace and potentially regain that spot.
Neil Constable Barry has dropped back one spot, now running in 6th position. Nigel Walters, in the Ferrari Dino, holds steady in 13th place.
Maintaining your starting position through that first lap can be a victory in itself sometimes, especially from the mid-pack. It means he's avoided any incidents and kept himself in contention.
Still with Nigel Walters in 13th, with Jimmy Lindo just ahead in 12th, and the gap between them now stands at 1.3 seconds.
A second and a bit is a decent margin to overcome, but it's not insurmountable. Walters will be pushing hard to close that gap and put pressure on Lindo in the coming laps.
We're now with Adam Tias, holding 9th position, and he is right on the tail of Elliot Norton in 8th. A 0.0 second gap, they are practically glued together.
That's wheel-to-wheel racing right there. Tias is clearly looking for a way past, putting immense pressure on Norton. This early in the race, a move here could really set the tone.
Moving further back, we're now following Niall Gagan in the Alfa Romeo, in 12th place, down the pit straight. He's just 0.3 seconds behind Jimmy Lindo in 11th.
Gagan is making his presence felt early. That's a tiny gap, which means he'll be right in Lindo's slipstream, looking for an opportunity to pass, perhaps into the next braking zone.
What a move. Niall Gagan has climbed to 11th position, and Jimmy Lindo, who is just ahead, is now 4.8 seconds behind him in 13th.
That was decisive. Gagan clearly saw an opening and took it with conviction. To put that much distance between himself and Lindo so quickly shows real intent.
Now to the front of the pack, Joel Lemrick is flying in 3rd, just half a second behind Martin Mull in 2nd. The chase is on for the podium. No change in the battle for 2nd and 3rd, Lemrick is still glued to the rear of Mull, maintaining that 0.5 second difference.
He's keeping the pressure on, that's for sure. Mull can't afford a single mistake with Lemrick breathing down his neck. Maintaining that consistent gap means Lemerick is building confidence, waiting for his moment.
Further back in the field, we're with Rich Snape in 8th, chasing Elliot Norton in 7th. There's a 0.8 second gap between them.
Snape is clearly pushing. That sub 1 second gap means he's getting good drive out of the corners, setting himself up to challenge Norton in the next few laps.
Now to Chris Stokes, holding 5th position, 3 seconds adrift of Martin Mole in 4th place.
3 seconds is a solid gap. Stokes will need to find some serious pace to reel Mole in. He'll be looking to shave off tenths every sector.
Incredible, Chris Stokes has rocketed up to 4th position, and Martin Mole, who was ahead, is now way back in 8th, 5.7 seconds behind Stokes. Rich Snape, still in the thick of it, now in 7th place, just 0.6 seconds behind Elliot Norton in 6th.
He's closed that gap down even more. That's a clear sign Snape is on the offensive. You can bet he's eyeing up every opportunity for a pass.
Snape has fallen back slightly from Norton, the gap increasing to 1.3 seconds now. It looks like Norton has found some pace.
Martin Mole is now in 8th, in the water tower section, just 2 tenths behind Rich Snape. He's certainly trying to make up for lost ground after that earlier drop.
Mole has actually dropped another spot, now in 9th, still chasing Snape in 8th, with that gap holding at 0.2 seconds.
He's really struggling to make progress here. It's frustrating when you're that close but just can't quite make a move. Every corner, you'll be looking for a chance to break free.
Elliot Norton is flying down the Tannery Straight, now in 7th, only 0.3 seconds behind Chris Stokes in 6th. And that's his best lap time too.
The gap to Stokes has just opened up slightly to 0.7 seconds. Norton needs to dig deep to close that down again, perhaps he overcooked a corner or two.
Chris Stokes rounds Tannery Corner, holding on to 6th position, now with a 0.7 second cushion over Norton behind him. Stokes maintains his position in that 0.7 second advantage over Norton through Tannery Corner.
He's defending well, keeping Norton at arm's length, making sure there are no easy opportunities for an overtake. That's good racecraft.
Norton has closed the gap again to Stokes, now just 0.4 seconds separating them as they head through this lap. Norton is right there, just 2 tenths now separating him from Stokes. We've seen some absolutely fantastic close quarter racing already, especially in that mid-pack battle between Norton and Stokes.
Oh, it's intense in there. When you're that close, you can practically feel the heat off the other car. Every braking zone, every corner exit, is a battle for inches.
Does that kind of sustained pressure wear you down as a driver, or does it fuel you?
It's both. You're constantly trying to find that fraction of a second, but you also have to keep your cool. One wrong move, and the opportunity is gone, or worse.
And this Longford circuit, with its high-speed sections and challenging corners, really amplifies that pressure, doesn't it?
Absolutely. There aren't many places to hide here. You have to be absolutely committed through every part of the lap. It's a real driver's track.
Chris Stokes has found some incredible pace, now in 5th, and he's just set his best lap time with a 2:28.897. Mole is right behind him, only 0.4 seconds back in 6th.
That's a fantastic lap from Stokes, really pushing the car. But with Mole so close, he can't relax. He's got to defend every inch of that track.
Mole has shaved another tenth off the gap. It's just 0.3 seconds now between Stokes in 5th and Mole in 6th.
He's absolutely hounding him. You can see the intensity here. Stokes will be feeling that pressure building. He needs to be absolutely perfect. Martin Mole has put in a lightning-fast lap, a 2:27.603, and he's now side by side with Chris Stokes. They are absolutely neck and neck.
Mole has done it. He's pulled off the overtake and is now in 5th. Stokes has fallen back to 6th, now 0.5 seconds behind.
That's what I was talking about with the pressure. Mole found his moment, made the move stick, and immediately started building a gap. Excellent driving.
At Newry Corner, Rich Snape is hot on the heels of Tim Weller. Only 0.2 of a second separates them for 7th place.
Snape is really pushing. That's a perfect distance to consider an overtake in the next section. He'll be trying to get a run out of this corner.
Snape has made the move stick. He's up into 7th position, now with a 0.3 second lead over Weller. Weller has fought back. Snape is now behind him again in 8th, with just a 1/10 of a second in it.
Oh, this is a fantastic battle. They're trading blows lap after lap. You have to be aggressive but also disciplined when you're in a situation like this.
Elliot Norton has made great progress, now in 5th, and he's closing in on Martin Mole in 4th, just 0.3 seconds the difference. Norton has taken 4th place from Mole. What a move. He now has a 0.4 second lead. This race has really come alive in these middle laps, hasn't it? We've seen some absolutely brilliant overtaking maneuvers.
It's all about picking your moment. You're watching, waiting, looking for that fraction of a second where the other driver makes a mistake or leaves just enough room. That's when you commit.
And we've seen several drivers do just that, like Mole making his way through, then Norton immediately responding. It's fantastic to watch.
That's the mental game. You might get past, but you immediately reevaluate and look to counter. You can't let it knock your confidence, you have to find that extra gear.
The Longford circuit certainly rewards bravery and precision, especially with those high-speed sections leading into tight corners.
Exactly. You need to be confident in your braking points and precise on the throttle. Pushing the limits here means you're always on the edge, which makes for such compelling viewing.
Martin Mole is fighting back, now in 5th, chasing Norton in 4th. Just 0.2 of a second separates them.
He's not letting Norton get away. Mole knows he has the pace. He'll be looking to reclaim that spot almost immediately. This is proper cat and mouse.
Mole has retaken 4th position, and he's immediately put 0.2 seconds between himself and Norton.
Incredible response from Mole. That's the sign of a driver who really wants it. He wasn't going to settle for 5th for long.
That battle for 4th between Mole and Norton has been absolutely captivating. They're really pushing each other to the limit.
That's what makes these races so exciting. You gain a position, then you have to immediately switch to defense, or even attack again if you lose it. It's mentally exhausting.
It's like a chess match at 150 miles an hour, isn't it? Every move has a counter move.
Exactly, and you can't show weakness. If you hesitate for even a split second, they'll be through. You've got to be utterly confident in your decisions.
And with these WSC60 machines, the raw power and the challenge of keeping them on the edge of adhesion must be immense.
These cars demand respect. They don't have the sophisticated aero of modern machines, so it's all about throttle control, smooth inputs, and sheer bravery.
Norton is still right behind Mole. Just 0.2 separate them once again for 4th position.
This battle is relentless. Neither driver wants to give an inch. This is the kind of racing that separates the good from the great.
Mole has managed to stretch that lead slightly, now 0.4 seconds clear of Norton in 5th. Chris Stokes is absolutely flying. He's in 6th, just 0.4 seconds behind Norton in 5th, and that's his best lap of the race.
Stokes is sensing an opportunity. He's closed right in, and he'll be hoping that the battle between Norton and Mole might open up a chance for him.
The gap has opened a fraction to 0.5 seconds between Stokes and Norton. Still very much in striking distance. Tim Weller is in 9th, pushing hard to close the 0.7 second gap to Niall Gagan in 8th. He's posted a strong lap as well. The gap has stretched a little, now 0.9 seconds between Weller and Gagan. Gagan has clearly found some extra speed.
Sometimes you just hit a rhythm that works for you, and it allows you to pull away. Weller will need to find something extra to bring that gap back down.
Stokes is through Tannery Corner, holding 6th, still just 0.4 seconds behind Norton. He's really keeping the pressure on. The gap back to 0.5 seconds, Norton just about holding him off for now. Now to Joel Lemrick, flying down the flying mile in 3rd, chasing Kruger Dorado in 2nd. The gap is 0.9 seconds.
He's pushing hard, and that's a very fast section of track. If he can use the slipstream effectively, he might be able to close that gap even further before the next braking zone.
The gap has nearly doubled. Kruger Dorado has extended his lead to 1.9 seconds over Lemrick. An impressive burst of speed there. Tim Weller continues in 9th, still chasing Gagan, but the gap has now grown to 1.2 seconds.
That gap is really opening up now, 1.7 seconds to Gagan. Weller will need to find a burst of pace if he wants to re-engage in that battle for 8th.
Elliot Norton has set his best lap of the race, a 2:27.644, now in 6th and only 0.4 seconds behind Chris Stokes in 5th. Norton is still right there, pushing Stokes hard, maintaining that 4/10 gap.
He's keeping him honest. Any slight mistake from Stokes, and Norton will be ready to pounce. It's a very tense part of the race for both drivers.
Chris Stokes has found incredible pace, he's up to 6th, and he's just set his best lap of the race, a 2:27.273. And he's just 2/10 behind Norton in 5th.
Wait, Stokes is ahead of Norton, but only by 2/10. Oh, they've clearly traded positions again. This is phenomenal driving from both of them.
And Norton has pulled out a lead over Stokes, the gap now 0.9 seconds as they continue this incredible fight.
This is like a heavyweight boxing match. One driver lands a punch, the other counters immediately. The mental fortitude required to keep pushing like this is immense.
Joel Lemrick is powering down the flying mile in 3rd, closing in on Kruger Dorado in 2nd. The gap is now down to just 0.7 seconds. Tim Weller continues in 9th, still chasing Gagan, but the gap has extended slightly to 1.3 seconds. Unbelievable, Tim Weller has absolutely demolished that gap. He's now just 2/10 behind Niall Gagan in 8th position.
He's come alive. That's a huge surge from Weller. He must have found some serious pace or Gagan made a mistake. This is a fight for 8th.
Chris Stokes is once again breathing down the neck of Elliot Norton, just 0.3 seconds adrift in the fight for 5th. Stokes and Norton are still locked together, that 0.3 second gap holding firm. What a battle for 5th. Stokes has done it, he's gained another position, now in 5th. But Norton has also moved up to 4th, still just 0.3 seconds ahead.
This is remarkable. They're pushing each other forward through the pack. That's how you make places, by driving each other to faster and faster lap times.
Still with Chris Stokes in 5th, continuing his relentless pursuit of Elliot Norton in 4th. Just 0.3 seconds again.
They're absolutely inseparable at the moment. This kind of close quarters racing is incredibly demanding, both physically and mentally. It's exhilarating to watch.
Norton and Stokes are nose to tail. No gap at all. This is going to be a photo finish for 4th and 5th.
They are practically sharing paint. Stokes is absolutely desperate to get past. This is going to come down to who blinks first, or who has the better run out of the final corner.
Tim Weller has just clocked his best lap of the race, a 2:27.761, now in 9th, a second behind Gagan for 8th. Gagan has suddenly pulled away from Weller. The gap has exploded to 5.8 seconds.
Something must have happened there. Either Weller made a significant error, or Gagan found a burst of incredible speed. That's a huge shift in the battle for 8th.
Tim Weller has dropped another place, now in 10th, and the gap to Gagan, still in 8th, is a staggering 13.3 seconds.
Wow, that is a massive loss of time and position. He must have had a moment, perhaps a spin, or an excursion off track. You don't lose that much time and a position for no reason.
Joel Lemrick is now in 6th, through Longford corner, chasing Chris Stokes in 5th, with a 1.4 second gap between them.
Lemrick has closed right in. He's just 0.6 seconds behind Stokes now. He's found a real turn of pace.
Chris Stokes holds on to 5th, with Lemrick right behind him, just half a second back in 6th.
Stokes will be feeling that pressure from Lemrick. He's got to be absolutely perfect through every corner. You don't want to make a mistake this late in the race.
Stokes has just edged out that lead a little, now 0.7 seconds over Lemrick. Joel Lemrick is in 6th, still chasing Chris Stokes in 5th, the gap back down to 0.5 seconds.
He's relentless. He might have lost a bit of time on that last lap, but he's already recovering. This is the kind of determination that wins you races, even if it's just for position.
Lemrick has passed Stokes. He's up into 5th, with just 0.2 seconds now separating them. What a phenomenal display of driving we're witnessing today. The battles are raging throughout the field.
It truly is. When you're pushing for positions like this, every single corner matters. You're constantly weighing up risk versus reward.
We've seen positions change hands multiple times in the space of a single lap, particularly in that mid-pack.
That's where the experience really comes into play. Knowing when to make a move, when to back off, and when to defend aggressively but fairly.
And with the time running out, every passing lap feels like it's increasing the tension even further.
Definitely. Now every driver will be thinking about that final extra lap, trying to conserve tires, conserve fuel, and still find that absolute maximum performance.
Rich Snape has put in his best lap of the race, a 2:27.316, now in 7th, chasing Chris Stokes in 6th, with a 2.6 second gap.
Snape is really picking up the pace now. 2.5 seconds is a big chunk, but if he keeps that kind of form, he might start closing in for 6th.
The gap has stretched slightly to 2.9 seconds between Snape and Stokes. Stokes seems to have found a little extra pace there.
It's hard to hold that high pace lap after lap. Maybe Snape had a small slide, or Stokes just hit a perfect sector. 3 seconds is comfortable enough for now.
Chris Stokes is in 6th, still locked in battle, now 0.6 seconds behind Joel Lemrick in 5th. A significant drop for Chris Stokes. He's fallen to 7th, and Joel Lemrick has extended his lead to 5.4 seconds, now in 4th.
Something big must have happened to Stokes. To lose that much ground and 2 positions in such a short space of time suggests a major incident, perhaps a spin or an off-track excursion.
Stokes has plummeted down the order. He's now in 8th position, and the gap to Lemrick, who is now in 5th, is a colossal 21.8 seconds.
That's devastating. You don't lose that kind of time unless there's a serious problem, perhaps a mechanical issue, or he's had a very big moment indeed. What a reversal of fortune after such a strong run.
Martin Mull is flying. He's in 4th, only 2.9 seconds behind Kruger Dorado in 3rd. And he's just posted an incredible 2:25.157 last lap.
He's absolutely charging. That's a phenomenal lap time for this stage of the race. He's got his sights set on that podium, no doubt. 2.9 seconds is definitely catchable.
Jareth Hallam is cruising towards the checkered flag, leading by a massive 8.9 seconds from Elliott Norton.
He's absolutely dominated this race from the front. With less than 20 seconds to the flag, it looks like a comfortable victory for Hallam.
Jareth Hallam crosses the line and takes the victory here at Longford. A dominant performance from start to finish.
What a drive from Hallam. From pole to victory, he never put a wheel wrong. Absolutely flawless control of that Corvette Grand Sport.
And Thomas Kruger Dorado takes second place. A superb drive, moving up 2 positions from his starting grid.
That's an excellent result for Dorado. To manage his pace and finish second after starting fourth on a track like this, that's a testament to his racecraft.
Martin Mull claims the final podium spot, finishing third after a hard-fought race. Joel Lemerick takes fourth place, a strong finish after a race full of determined driving.
Lemerick was absolutely tenacious out there, fighting hard through the pack. Fourth is a well-deserved result for that effort.
Niall Gagan brings the Alfa Romeo home in a fantastic 5th position.
And Chris Stokes, after a roller coaster race and some incredible battles, crosses the line in 6th. He certainly earned that spot.
Neil Constable Barry takes 7th, Tim Weller 8th, and Rich Snape completes our top 9 finishers. And Phil Bodkin crosses the line, rounding out our top 10 finishers in a solid 10th place. Nigel Walters brings the Ferrari home in 11th, a consistent drive from him throughout the race. Welcome to Longford, everyone. The wind a gentle whisper as the grid forms up for what promises to be a spectacular race. And it's Nigel Walters, the AM-class driver from the UK, starting from pole position in that beautiful WSC 60 Ferrari Dino 206S Berlinetta.
Pole position is always a great place to be, but it brings its own kind of pressure. Starting out front, you're the one everyone's hunting.
Further down the grid, in 3rd position, we have another AM-class driver from the UK, Rich Snape, also in the formidable WSC 60 Ferrari Dino 206S Berlinetta. Right behind Snape, in 4th, it's Tim Weller, another AM-class talent from the UK, piloting the iconic WSC 60 Shelby Daytona Coupe. And in 5th spot, we find Neil Constable Barry, yet another UK AM-class driver, taking the wheel of the distinctive WSC 60 Madra M630 BRM. Moving back to 6th position, we have Chris Stokes from England, a Pro-Am class driver, ready to unleash that WSC 60 Porsche 910 sixths.
The Porsche 910 Sixths is a nimble car. From P6, Stokes will be looking to pick off the cars ahead quickly, especially with that Pro-Am experience.
Down in 8th position, Joel Lemerick from the Netherlands, an M-Class driver, prepares for battle in his WSC 60 Chevron B8 FBA. And in 9th, Martin Mol from the Netherlands, a Pro-Class driver, ready to push his WSC 60 Matra M630 BRM to the limit. Thomas Kruger Dorado, Pro-Am class from the UK, starts from 10th position in the WSC 60 Shelby Daytona Coupe.
10th isn't ideal, but a Pro-Am driver in a Daytona Coupe has the potential to make serious progress. It's all about managing the opening laps and finding a rhythm.
From 12th, we have Elliot Norton, Pro-Am class from the UK, driving the WSC 60 Porsche 910 Sixths.
The Porsche 910 Sixths is quick off the line. Norton will be looking for any gaps in that midfield to gain positions early on. It's a tight pack back there.
Adam Tias, an M-Class driver from England, lines up in 13th position in the WSC 60 Matra M630 BRM.
P13 can be tricky. It's easy to get caught in traffic, but it also offers opportunities if a driver is decisive into the first corner.
And the lights are out. We are green at Longford and the race is underway. Walters holds the lead into turn 1, excellent start from the pole sitter.
Yellow flag, safety car is out.
We have a major incident unfolding. The safety car is being deployed already, a big shakedown on the opening lap.
This completely changes the dynamic. Everyone will be bunched up now, losing any gaps they fought to create. It's frustrating as a driver to see the safety car so early, but it means the field will be reset for a sprint when you go green again.
That was quite the dramatic start to the race, wasn't it? Barely a minute in and we're already under safety car conditions.
It's always a gamble in those first few corners. Everyone's fighting for track position, cold tires, adrenaline high. It only takes one small misjudgment.
Indeed, and it means Walter's excellent start from pole is somewhat negated now, as the field bunches right back up.
Absolutely. You work so hard to get a lead, then it's gone. As a driver, you just have to reset, use the time to check your car, and prepare for the restart like it's a new race.
It certainly adds another layer of strategy, doesn't it? The pit crews will be looking closely at fuel and tire strategies now.
They will. For some, it might be an opportunity. For others, just a frustrating delay. The pressure is still on, just in a different way.
The safety car remains out, indicating this incident is quite a serious one, taking a considerable amount of time to clear.
It's a test of patience for every driver out there right now. You just want to get going, but you have to stay sharp for whenever the restart comes.
It's remarkable, isn't it, how quickly a race can change? From anticipation on the grid to immediate drama under yellow.
Oh, absolutely. I've been in races where the safety car has come out multiple times on the first lap. It completely shifts your mindset from attack to controlled patience.
And for some of these drivers, especially the AM-class drivers, this might be their first experience of such an immediate intervention.
It's a huge learning curve. You need to maintain tire temperature, keep your concentration, and resist the urge to push even when you're just following a pace car. It's harder than it sounds.
So, for someone like Walters, who had such a clean break, this must feel like a bit of an anticlimax, effectively losing his advantage.
It does. But a good driver uses this time to regroup, think about the restart, and identify any potential weak spots in the cars ahead or behind for when we go green again.
The safety car continues to lead the field, the cleanup operation clearly proving extensive after that initial incident.
This extended safety car period is really testing the driver's focus. It's a mental game as much as a physical one, trying to stay warm and alert.
This safety car period is certainly drawing out. It speaks volumes about the size of that initial incident, doesn't it?
It does. Safety is paramount, of course, and you can never rush these things. But for the drivers, it's an agonizing wait. You're just itching to get back to racing speed.
I wonder if any of the teams might be contemplating a very early pit stop under these conditions, even if it's not ideal for their strategy.
It's a thought, but often not worth it this early unless you've had some minor damage. You lose track position and risk being caught out if the green flag drops sooner than expected. I've seen it backfire.
So, for now, it's just a case of circulating and maintaining focus, as you mentioned earlier.
Exactly. Conserve fuel, keep the engine and brakes at optimal temperature, and most importantly, keep your head in the game. The restart is always chaotic, and that's when you need to be sharp.
Still under safety car conditions here at Longford, the marshals are working hard to clear the track.
This extended yellow flag really emphasizes the importance of staying calm and conserving your equipment. No point overworking anything while we're waiting.
This is quite a long safety car period. It must be playing havoc with some of the team strategies they mapped out pre-race.
Oh, absolutely. You come into a race with a clear plan, and an early, extended safety car like this just throws it all out the window. Every team on the pit wall will be recalculating right now.
From a driver's perspective, what's the biggest challenge during such a drawn-out yellow flag? Is it keeping the tires warm or mental focus?
Both, but I'd lean towards maintaining tire and brake temperature. If they're cold on the restart, your first few corners are compromised, and that's when you're most vulnerable. Mentally, you're constantly fighting the urge to switch off.
So, Walters, who started so well, now has to contend with a cold car and the entire field right on his tail again.
It's a complete reset. The advantage of pole is gone for now. He needs to nail that restart, just like everyone else. That's a lot of pressure, even for an AM driver.
It's fascinating how a race can become a series of sprints, isn't it? This isn't just one long endurance run now, it's about being ready for that sudden burst of action.
Precisely. You have to adapt. It's not about settling into a rhythm, it's about being prepared for an immediate, intense battle for position when the green flag flies. I've had races won and lost on restarts.
And we've seen some powerful cars on the grid, those Ferrari Dino 206S Berlinettas, the Shelby Daytona Coupes. They'll be itching to unleash their horsepower.
They will, but raw power isn't everything on a cold restart. It's about how quickly you can get the heat into the tires and brakes, and how confident you are to push immediately.
The anticipation is really building now, despite the lack of green flag racing. Everyone's waiting for that signal.
It's an electric feeling in the cockpit. You know that moment of release is coming, and you have to be absolutely perfect to capitalize on it.
The safety car continues to circulate, the extensive nature of the incident keeping the field under control.
This prolonged safety car period means drivers really have to work hard to keep their concentration sharp for the inevitable restart.
This safety car period is really stretching out, isn't it? The wait for green flag racing is becoming quite long.
It means the marshals are dealing with something significant. For us in the cockpit, it's about maintaining that laser focus, even when you're just trundling along.
It must be challenging for the drivers to keep their rhythm, or even just to stay warm in the car.
Keeping the tires and brakes in their operating window is a constant concern. You're gently weaving, trying to generate
Get
some
ready,
heat.
safety
Otherwise,
car
the
in this
restart can
lap.
be disastrous.
And this prolonged period means every team on the pit wall will be scrambling to re-evaluate their entire race strategy, I imagine.
Absolutely. Fuel consumption, tire degradation, potential pit windows, it all gets thrown up in the air. The best teams adapt quickest to these unpredictable situations.
Still yellow here at Longford, the safety car holding strong at the front of the pack. The track clear up is definitely taking its time, a testament to the severity of that early incident.
This wait means every single component on the car is getting colder. Reheating them on the restart will be critical. It's a test of mental fortitude, as much as anything, sitting here, waiting for the race to finally begin properly.
This safety car period is really turning into a marathon of its own, isn't it?
It certainly is. As a driver, you're constantly fighting against boredom, trying to stay alert and mentally rehearsing the restart over and over again. It's surprisingly draining.
I can only imagine, and with the wind being so gentle, it's not like the weather is a factor adding to the drama right now, just this extended wait.
No, the conditions are stable, which is good. But it means there's no natural heat going into the tires from external factors, so it's all on the driver to generate it during these safety car laps.
So, for a driver like Walters, who led from the start, this is almost like another qualifying run when the green flag eventually drops.
Exactly. Every driver needs to be ready to attack from the moment the safety car pulls in. You've got to hit your marks and trust your tires are ready from lap 1. I've had restarts where I felt like I was on ice.
The safety car continues to dictate the pace here. Clearly a significant recovery effort is still underway on track. This extensive delay underlines the seriousness of that opening lap incident.
This kind of extended period really tests a driver's discipline. You have to be ready to sprint again at any moment, but your car is cooling down. It's all about managing those tire and brake temperatures now, keeping them alive for the eventual restart.
This safety car period is really putting everyone's patience to the test, both on track and off.
It's a strange sensation as a driver. You're racing, but you're not. Your adrenaline wants to spike, but you have to keep it in check until the green flag.
And for the teams, this must be a constant recalculation on the pit wall. Fuel, tire life, it's all in flux.
Every single parameter is being re-evaluated, but ultimately, the restart is what matters now. That first lap back to racing speed is where positions will be won or lost. I know how frantic those can be.
So, Walters will need to channel all his focus to defend that lead from the moment the safety car pulls in.
Absolutely, and everyone behind him will be smelling an opportunity. The race becomes a sprint again from that moment on. No settling in period this time.
The safety car remains firmly in control of the field here, another lap ticked away under yellow. It's clear that the incident on lap 1 was truly significant, demanding this lengthy recovery operation.
This patience game is tough for the drivers. You're just waiting, trying to keep heat in the tires and your mind in the race. I've been in these situations, and the anticipation for the restart builds intensely. Everyone's coiled and ready.
This safety car period is truly testing the resolve of everyone involved. It feels like an eternity for green flag racing to resume.
It's an interesting challenge as a driver. You're physically driving, but mentally, it's a waiting game. You have to actively fight against your instincts to push, while still being ready for the sprint.
And considering the grid had so many AM-class drivers in those top positions, this prolonged yellow flag will certainly be a unique experience for them.
It's invaluable experience, even if frustrating. Learning to manage your car, your tires, and your own mental state during these delays is a skill in itself. I've seen rookies struggle with it.
So, when the green flag finally drops, it won't just be about raw pace, but about who's handled this psychological test best.
Exactly. It's about who can flip that switch instantly, get the heat back into the tires, and attack the first corner with confidence. The driver who's been most disciplined during this wait will have an edge.
The safety car continues to lead the field, another lap ticking by under these yellow conditions. It's an incredibly long safety car period now, which really highlights the scale of that opening lap incident.
This is where patience truly comes into play for the drivers. Every decision to try and keep the car alive for the restart is vital. You're always trying to guess when it's going to go green, so you're constantly on edge, waiting for that signal.
This extended safety car period is truly unprecedented for an opening lap. The tension in the air is palpable.
It definitely changes the whole complexion of the race. I've been in these situations where you feel like you're racing against yourself to stay sharp.
And for a number of these in-class drivers, this will be a completely new experience, managing a car for so many laps without actual racing.
It's a baptism of fire. You learn so much about car management and mental discipline during these yellow flags. It's not just about speed anymore.
So, Walters at the front, having had that great start, now has to do it all again, effectively from a standing start mentally.
Exactly. It's a second start to the race, and everyone will be absolutely on it. The first few corners after the safety car are often more intense than the initial start itself.
Still yellow here at Longford, the safety car continuing its lead lap after lap, as recovery efforts persist.
This is an incredibly long wait. Drivers are fighting to keep the minimal heat they have in their tires, knowing the restart will be instant action.
This safety car period is truly going on, stretching into what feels like an eternity for the drivers.
It's an unusual situation. You're constantly toggling between trying to relax to conserve energy and being on high alert for the green flag. It's a mental tug of war.
And for the various classes, the AM, Pro-Am, and Pro drivers, this will impact them all differently, won't it?
Definitely. The Pro drivers might be more accustomed to these delays, but for the AM drivers, this level of sustained waiting without racing is a real test of their composure. I remember my first long safety car, it felt endless.
So, Walters at the front, who started so well, has to manage this frustration and maintain his readiness to defend the lead.
He does. Every driver is now focused on the restart. It becomes a completely new race, a short sprint where every corner matters immediately.
The safety car remains out, the marshals still hard at work to clear the track after that major opening lap incident. This is an extraordinarily long safety car period, really testing the patience and strategy of every team and driver.
Every lap under yellow means colder tires, colder brakes. The restart is going to be incredibly challenging for grip. I felt that drop off myself. The drivers are just waiting for that final signal, that light to go green. The tension in the cockpits will be immense right now.
This safety car period is truly a test of endurance in itself. We're well into the race duration now, and still no green flag racing.
It's incredibly frustrating as a driver. You're constantly trying to predict the restart, so your body is tense, ready to go, but you're just circulating at low speed. It's a real mental game to not get ahead of yourself.
And with the diverse grid we have, from AM to Pro drivers, this experience will be unique for many, won't it?
Absolutely. For the newer drivers, it's a huge lesson in patience and car management. You have to be gentle with everything while still keeping it ready for when the green flag eventually waves. I've certainly learned that the hard way.
So for Walters, out front, who looked so strong at the start, this is almost an unfair reset of his advantage.
It is, but it's part of racing. He has to switch back into full attack mode immediately. That restart will dictate a lot, and everyone behind him will be looking for any opportunity.
The safety car remains the lead vehicle, dictating the pace and ensuring safety as marshals continue their work. This is an unprecedentedly long safety car period, really underlining the severity of that early race incident.
These sustained yellow flag laps mean the challenge of keeping the tires and brakes at temperature grows with every minute. It's a real art. Every driver will be mentally exhausted from this wait, but they have to stay switched on for that critical restart.
This safety car period is truly going down in the history books for its duration. It's almost a race in itself.
It's fascinating, but incredibly taxing as a driver. You're not pushing, but your mind is working overtime, constantly calculating, trying to anticipate the moment the green flag waves. It's almost more stressful than full-speed racing.
I can imagine. And for the machinery, is this extended low speed running good or bad? Does it help conserve anything?
It conserves fuel, absolutely. But it's not ideal for optimal engine temperatures or keeping critical components like the brakes and tires in their operating window. You're constantly trying to generate heat without actually racing, which is a delicate balance I learned to master.
So, Walters, who started so brilliantly from pole, has had his advantage completely nullified by this. He effectively has to start the race again from the front.
He does, and so does everyone else. The entire field is now bunched. That restart will be absolutely chaotic. It will feel like the opening lap all over again, but with colder cars and heightened anticipation.
The safety car remains on track, maintaining the procession as marshals continue to address the extensive scene.
This prolonged safety car period is pushing drivers to their mental limits, demanding incredible patience while staying race ready.
This safety car period is truly unprecedented. It feels like the main event itself now, doesn't it?
It's certainly a test of resilience. I've had races where a long safety car period felt like an eternity, constantly fighting the urge to switch off, knowing you have to be ready at a moment's notice.
And for the teams, imagine the data they're pouring over right now, trying to adjust every single parameter for a restart that could come at any moment.
They'll be tire pressures, fuel maps, brake bias settings. Everything needs to be perfectly calibrated for that sudden burst of speed after so much low speed running. It's a high-pressure pit wall job.
So, Walters, who earned that pole position in a clean getaway, now faces the challenge of effectively winning the start all over again.
He does. Every driver's goal now is to nail the restart. That initial punch will be crucial, and anyone who's not instantly on it will lose ground rapidly.
Still under safety car conditions here at Longford, the field circulating patiently as track clear-up continues.
This extended yellow flag truly underscores the severity of that initial incident, keeping everyone on tenterhooks for the green light.
This safety car period is proving to be incredibly persistent. It's almost more dramatic than actual racing right now, in a different way.
It's all about managing expectations and staying focused. As a driver, you're looking at every little detail, trying to predict that moment the safety car lights go out and it dives into the pits.
And for the cars, those beautiful WSC60 machines, they must be eager to stretch their legs properly.
Oh, absolutely. They're built for speed, not for trundling along. You want to get the power down, feel the grip. This waiting is unnatural for these machines and their drivers.
So, Walters, in the lead, will have the primary responsibility of setting the pace for the restart, won't he?
He will, and that's a lot of pressure. He has to control the pace perfectly, keep the field behind him, and then launch at precisely the right moment to maintain his advantage. It's a critical skill.
The safety car remains on track, maintaining the pace for what has been an incredibly long yellow flag period. It's clear the marshals are facing a significant challenge in clearing that opening lap incident.
This kind of extended period really wears on a driver's mental reserves. You have to be fully on, but without the release of actually racing. Keeping those tires alive, generating whatever heat you can, is absolutely vital for the moment we go green.
This safety car period is truly unprecedented in its length. It's transformed the early stages of this race completely.
It has. From a driver's seat, it's a constant battle against impatience. You're trying to conserve mental energy but stay completely sharp for the unexpected green flag.
And thinking about those beautiful cars on track, the Magras, the Shelby Daytona Coupes, they're not built for parade laps.
No, they're not. Every engine note, every gear change during this period is about maintaining condition, not performance. But the moment the safety car pulls in, it's instant aggression, no time to waste.
So for Walters, holding that P1, the pressure to execute a flawless restart must be immense.
Absolutely. He's got the entire field breathing down his neck. The restart is his second chance to prove he deserves that lead, and he'll have to be absolutely perfect.
The safety car continues to lead the field, the extended yellow period now truly remarkable. It's an incredibly long wait for these drivers to unleash their machines and get back to proper racing.
This patience required under the safety car is a skill in itself. You're constantly trying to predict the restart, ready to react instantly. Every driver will be using these laps to mentally prepare for the sprint that will come when the green flag eventually drops.
This safety car period is truly unprecedented. It feels like we're watching a chess match at 60 miles an hour.
It's an intense mental battle. You're trying to keep the car ready, the tires warm, and your mind from drifting, all while just following. It's a unique kind of pressure.
It totally rewrites the script for the race, doesn't it? Any initial gains are gone, and it's a completely different challenge now.
Completely. The race effectively becomes a series of shorter sprints from the restart. Every driver is now focused solely on that next green flag moment, just as I would be.
And for the teams, imagine the number of alternative strategies they've likely devised during this extended yellow.
Oh, the pit wall will be a hive of activity. But ultimately, it comes down to the driver executing that restart perfectly. All the planning in the world won't help if you're not sharp on green.
The safety car continues its extended run at the head of the field, a truly remarkable duration for an early race incident. The clear-up operation is clearly a massive undertaking, keeping all these incredible machines under yellow flag conditions.
This weight means you're constantly trying to keep some heat in the tires, weaving side to side, because you know that restart is going to be incredibly aggressive. I've been caught out by cold tires more than once. Every driver will be running through scenarios in their head, anticipating the green light and how to attack the first corners.
This safety car period is truly going down in the annals of motor racing for its sheer length. The anticipation for green is almost unbearable.
It's incredibly challenging as a driver. You're trying to keep a level head, avoid getting agitated, and maintain that razor-sharp focus for when the race finally restarts properly.
And thinking about the classic cars out there, the Matra, the Porsche, the Ferrari dynos, they're not designed for this stop-start nature.
They absolutely thrive on being pushed to their limits, not trundling along. The drivers will be feeling that too, wanting to unleash the power and find their rhythm.
So for Walters, who started brilliantly, his biggest challenge now is psychological resilience, isn't it?
Entirely. He's maintained the lead, but it's been a lead under yellow. Now he has to perform a second race start under immense pressure with everyone right on his gearbox. It's a huge ask.
The safety car continues to command the field, a truly extensive period under yellow flags.
This prolonged wait means tire degradation isn't an issue, but getting them back up to temperature on the restart will be critical for every driver.
This safety car period is truly a saga of its own. It's transformed this motor race into an ultimate test of patience.
It's not just about waiting. It's about actively preparing for a restart that could happen at any second. Your heart rate is up, but you're not actually racing. It's a unique mental battle I've known well.
Indeed, any early race strategies would have been torn up and rewritten countless times on the pit wall by now.
Absolutely. Every calculation for fuel, tire wear, and even driver fatigue is being reset. The race will restart with cold tires, and that first push for grip is going to be incredibly tricky.
So, Walter's pole advantage from the very first moments is long gone, effectively resetting the entire field for a second start.
That's right. It's a completely new race from the moment the green flag waves. The driver who can switch on fastest and manage those cold tires will gain the upper hand immediately.
The safety car continues its extraordinary presence on track, the field still under control after that initial major incident.
This prolonged wait means the restart will be like the first lap all over again, but with an added challenge of getting heat back into the tires instantly.
This safety car period is truly going into legend. It's an incredible test of everyone's resolve.
It's not just sitting there, you're constantly working the wheel, tapping the brakes, trying to keep life in the car. It's exhausting in a different way to flat-out racing.
And for drivers like Walters, who had such a clean run from pole, this is a complete psychological reset.
Every single driver will be focusing on that restart. It's a make-or-break moment, a condensed sprint that demands immediate aggression and perfect execution. I've known races won or lost right there.
The Longford circuit itself, known for its challenging corners and high speeds, is currently a very sedate environment.
Indeed, but the moment we go green, it will erupt. The drivers will push hard into those corners, needing instant grip from cold tires. That's the real challenge after such a long yellow.
The safety car remains on track, an unprecedented length of time under yellow flag conditions here at Longford. The marshals are clearly facing a monumental task, keeping the field controlled for this long.
This constant waiting under yellow, it's brutal on concentration. You're physically driving, but mentally it's all about anticipating that green light. Maintaining any kind of tire temperature is the priority now. Cold tires mean a very tricky restart for everyone.
The practice session is underway, just under 9 minutes left on the clock as the teams fine-tune their setups.
This is crucial time for the drivers, getting that feel for the car on the edge, finding those last few tenths before qualifying.
Nigel Walters is out on track now, currently navigating the flying mile, still looking to put time on the board.
This is where you're really pushing the limits, trying to feel out the grip, especially through the high-speed sections like the flying mile. It's all about building confidence.
Jareth Hallam is also out there, but we haven't seen a lap time from them yet with just over 7 minutes remaining in practice.
Sometimes you just focus on getting heat into the tires, betting in new brakes, rather than going for a flyer straight away. I've done that many times in practice.
Adam T is still searching for a representative lap time as we approach the final few minutes of this practice session.
Every lap is valuable, even if you're not setting the world on fire. It's about data collection and understanding how the car reacts.
Nigel Walters is making their way through the viaduct section now, still without a time on the board.
You don't want to leave it too late to get that crucial lap in. The track conditions can change, and you need to get a feel for it.
Just over 3 minutes to go, and Jareth Helm still needs to get a lap time recorded in this session.
These final laps are critical. You want to push for representative time but also ensure you don't take any unnecessary risks. It's a balance I know well.
Neil Constable Barry is also yet to push a lap time, with the session rapidly drawing to a close.
This is where the pressure starts to build. You know you've got to put something down. I've been in that position, scrambling for a good lap in the dying moments.
Two minutes left on the clock, and Tim Weller is still looking for their first time lap.
It's all about finding clear track and maximizing what little time is left. Every second counts now.
Chris Stokes is out there, but no lap time from them yet as we enter the final 90 seconds.
You have to be careful not to push too hard on cold tires if you haven't done a full out lap. That's a mistake I made early in my career.
Less than a minute remains, and Neil Constable Barry is still without a recorded lap time.
You really have to hustle now. This is a very short window to get a meaningful lap in.
And Jareth Hallam crosses the line, 2:22.523, straight to the top of the leaderboard with only seconds left on the clock.
That's a strong first effort. To pull that out right at the end of the session shows good focus and a feel for the car, even on that one flying lap.
Joel Lemrick is still looking to push the lap time with just 26 seconds remaining in this practice session. Adam Tiaz is also still without a lap time, with the clock now ticking down under a minute in practice.
This is a difficult situation, trying to find a rhythm and a clear track for one final push. It takes a lot of mental fortitude.
Chris Stokes now with a 225.293, slotting into second place, a strong effort with under 90 seconds remaining.
To put a lap like that together so late in the session, finding the pace when time is running out, that's a real mark of a driver. I remember doing something similar once. It feels good.
Welcome back to Longford, where the qualifying session is just moments away, a brisk 10 miles per hour wind adding to the challenge on this classic circuit. The green flag is out, qualifying is well underway here at Longford, with Neil Constable Barry yet to post a time as we head into the final 4 minutes and 46 seconds. Nigel Walters is now making his way through the water tower section, still without a time on the board as we close in on 4 minutes 22 left.
That water tower section is certainly a place where you can make or break a lap. You have to be so precise with the throttle through there.
Martin Mull is still searching for his first flying lap of the session, just under 4 minutes left to find a rhythm.
It can take a few corners to really dial in the car, especially on a track like Longford. You want to feel for the grip before pushing too hard.
Neil Constable Barry, still without a time, is now flying across the iconic Long Bridge, the clock ticking down to just 3 minutes 17. Hallam, still to set a time, is powering down the Tannery straight, with less than 3 minutes remaining in this crucial qualifying session. Joel Lemrick, yet to push the time, is out on track, with the session winding down to just 2 minutes 23 seconds. Martin Mull still hasn't registered a time, the pressure really on now with under 2 minutes on the clock.
You have to commit to that first push lap. No time for a warm-up, just straight to the limit, that's what's required here.
Martin Mull with a late charge. A 2:26.943 puts him straight to the top, just 7 seconds left on the clock. Elliot Norton still without a time, the clock showing just 15 seconds remaining in qualifying, a real scramble now. Martin Mull, currently P2, is pushing hard through the viaduct section, over a tenth up on his best time with just 23 seconds left. Chris Stokes, holding P2, is well off his best lap through Tannery Corner, over 12 seconds down with just a minute 45 left.
That delta suggests a major error, or he's deliberately conserving tires. Tannery Corner can be deceiving, a small mistake costs a lot of time.
Welcome to Longford, a truly classic circuit, and the atmosphere is electric as we await the start of this 1960s thriller.
There's nothing quite like this moment on the grid, that intense focus, the smell of fuel and oil, knowing what's about to happen when those lights go out.
Rich Snape, a British driver, is positioned third on the grid in his WSC60 Ferrari Dino 206S Berlinetta, an impressive spot for an M-Class competitor.
P3 is a fantastic starting position, but it comes with immense pressure right from the first corner. You're right in the thick of it from the off, and managing that as an M driver is a real test.
Just 2 rows back, fellow Brit Nigel Walters, also in a WSC60 Ferrari Dino 206S Berlinetta, lines up in 5th, another M driver looking to make an impact. Meanwhile, Adam Tias, hailing from England, starts from 7th place in his WSC60 Matra M630 BRM, another M-Class driver looking for a strong start. Thomas Kruger Dorado, from the United Kingdom, starts just behind in 8th position, piloting the formidable WSC60 Shelby Daytona Coupe as a Pro-Am driver.
The Daytona Coupe is a brute of a car, a real handful, especially around a circuit like Longford. Being Pro-Am, he'll be pushing hard but needs to manage that power effectively off the line.
Further down the grid at 10th, we have Tim Weller, another British driver, also in a WSC60 Shelby Daytona Coupe.
10th is still a respectable spot to start, but in a car like the Daytona Coupe, getting clear air early will be crucial. It's tough in traffic when you're wrestling that kind of power.
Next up, Neil Constable Barry, another British driver, lines up in 11th in his WSC60 Matra M630 BRM. From the Netherlands, Joel Lemerick starts in 12th in his WSC60 Chevron B8 FBA. 13th on the grid is Phil Bodkin, another driver from England, in a WSC60 Porsche 910 Sixths.
The Porsche 910 Sixths is a very nimble car, good for these fast, flowing sections. It might not have the raw grunt of some of the others, but it's well balanced, which can be a real advantage in a longer race.
Gareth Hallam, from the United Kingdom, starts from pole position in the powerful WSC60 Corvette Grand Sport, a Pro-Am driver leading the pack. The lights are out. We are underway at Longford, a phenomenal start to this race.
That initial burst off the line is everything. Hooking up the tires, getting the power down cleanly, it's a make-or-break moment for the entire field.
Gareth Hallam holds his lead brilliantly, maintaining that pole position through the first corners in the Corvette Grand Sport.
Keeping P1 from the start is a huge confidence boost. It means he nailed the launch and has the car exactly where he wants it, in clear air, dictating the pace.
Further back, Elliot Norton has made a superb start, jumping from 5th up to 3rd position on this opening lap.
Norton is really on a charge. Gaining 2 places so early, that's the kind of aggression you need at the start of a race, finding those gaps and exploiting them.
Meanwhile, Chris Stokes, who started on the front row in 2nd, has dropped back to 4th on this opening lap. Chris Stokes, who began in 2nd, has unfortunately fallen to 4th. Not the start he would have wanted from the front row.
Dropping positions so early from P2 indicates he might have struggled with the initial launch or perhaps got boxed in. It's tough to recover that track position once it's lost in the first few corners.
Martin Mull is now running in 6th position, but just ahead, Thomas Kruger Dorado has made incredible progress, now up to 5th and only 4/10 of a second clear.
Kruger Dorado has absolutely flown up the order, gaining 3 places already in that Daytona coupe. He's really pushing, and Mull will have his work cut out for him to close that tiny gap.
We're now with Thomas Kruger Dorado, who has dropped a place and is now in 6th. Martin Mull is just ahead in 5th, a mere 2/10 of a second separating them.
That's incredibly tight. Being so close, Kruger Dorado will be right in Mull's mirrors, looking for any mistake. That kind of pressure can really force the issue for the car ahead.
Martin Mull has surged forward and is now in 4th position. Chris Stokes is directly in front, just a 10th of a second ahead in 3rd.
This is wheel-to-wheel racing at its absolute finest. Being that close, you're constantly aware of the car ahead, waiting for that split-second opportunity. Every corner is critical.
Martin Mull holds 4th, but the gap to Chris Stokes in 3rd has extended slightly to 3/10 of a second. Still incredibly close. Elliot Norton has dropped back to 5th, and Martin Mull is right there in 4th. There's absolutely nothing between them, a 0-second gap. Elliot Norton has unfortunately dropped another spot, now in 6th. The gap to Martin Mull in 4th has grown to 2 seconds. What a start we've had here at Longford, truly thrilling to see the drivers pushing so hard from the very first corner.
This circuit really rewards bravery, and we're seeing plenty of it out there. Those early gains and losses can define your race. It's about seizing every small opportunity.
It's fascinating to watch the different driving styles emerging, particularly in these early stages when the pack is still relatively tight.
Absolutely. Some drivers will be conserving tires slightly, others will be attacking hard, trying to break away. I always tried to find a rhythm early, but sometimes you just have to hang on and fight.
We've also seen some M drivers really impressing, holding their own against the Pro-Ams, which is always a treat to witness.
When you're out there, the class structure almost disappears in the heat of the moment. You're just focused on the car ahead or the car behind. That competitive fire is universal across all categories.
Martin Mull continues to hold 4th, keeping Chris Stokes in his sights, who remains 3/10 ahead in 3rd. Martin Mull has made the move. He's now up into 3rd position, with Chris Stokes directly behind him in 4th, separated by absolutely nothing.
That's a brilliant overtake by Mull. He's really found his pace and now has that vital track position. Stokes will be desperate to get that spot back immediately.
Martin Mull has unfortunately lost that position, now back in 4th, with Chris Stokes pulling away slightly in 3rd by 9/10. Martin Mull is still in 4th, but he's closed the gap to Chris Stokes in 3rd to just 2/10. He's not giving up. Martin Mull has done it again. He's snatched 3rd place back from Chris Stokes, who is now in 4th and right on his tail, absolutely no space between them. Elliot Norton is holding 6th position, having completed a rapid lap. Adam Tiaz is a 1.5 behind in 7th. Elliot Norton has dropped back dramatically, now in 8th position. Adam Tiaz, previously behind, is now up to 6th and has pulled out a 4-second lead over Norton. A significant change here for Elliot Norton, who has fallen further down to 9th position. The gap to Adam Tiaz in 6th is now a massive 34 seconds.
That's a huge amount of time to lose in such a short period. Something must have gone wrong there, whether it was a moment off track or a struggle with the car's balance. It's a real setback.
Nigel Walters is now in 7th, pushing hard. Adam Tiaz is just 6/10 ahead in 6th, after Walters' last lap of 2:30.174.
6/10 is definitely within striking distance. Walters will be looking to capitalize on any small error from Tiaz. It's all about consistency and keeping that pressure on.
Nigel Walters remains in 7th, but Adam Tiaz has managed to stretch that lead slightly to a full second now in 6th.
Tiaz has responded well to the pressure. It takes focus to not let that close following car break your rhythm. A second isn't a huge gap, but it's a bit more breathing room.
Chris Stokes is running in 4th after a quick lap of 2:27.412. Joel Lemrick is right behind him in 5th, just 2/10 separating them.
2/10 is practically nothing. Stokes has to be absolutely on it to keep Lemrick behind. One missed apex or slight slide could be enough for an overtake.
Rich Snape has made a move and is now in 4th position. Chris Stokes is right on his gearbox in 5th, with literally no gap between them.
Snape has been relentless in that Ferrari. He saw the opportunity and took it. Now he's got to defend, and that's often harder than making the pass in the first place, especially with Stokes breathing down his neck.
Nigel Walters, in 7th, has just completed a strong lap of 2:28.747, but Adam Tias in 6th is still a second and 3/10 ahead. Nigel Walters remains in 7th, but the gap to Adam Tias in 6th has grown again, now at a second and 7/10. Rich Snape is in 4th, with Chris Stokes now a second and 2/10 ahead in 3rd. Snape will be looking to close that gap on this lap. Rich Snape continues in 4th, slightly closing the gap to Chris Stokes in 3rd. It's now down to 1.1 seconds. Chris Stokes is running strong in 3rd, setting a new best lap of 2:26.652. He's pulling away from Rich Snape, who is a second and 1/10 behind in 4th. Chris Stokes holds on to 3rd, still with that 1.1 second advantage over Rich Snape in 4th. That battle is holding steady. Phil Bodkin is solidly in 9th position, having just clocked a 2:30.698, and has stretched his lead over Tim Weller in 10th to a healthy 5.6 seconds. Phil Bodkin remains in 9th, but Tim Weller has managed to close the gap slightly to 4.5 seconds in 10th. We've seen some phenomenal driving and quite a bit of position swapping in these early stages, haven't we?
Absolutely, this is where the race really starts to settle in. Those initial charges give way to sustained pressure and strategic thinking. You can't just rely on raw speed, consistency becomes key.
Martin Mull and Chris Stokes have been locked in a fantastic battle for that 3rd spot, constantly trading blows and keeping us on the edge of our seats.
That kind of close racing is incredibly demanding. You're constantly calculating, pushing the car to its limits, but also trying to anticipate the other driver's next move. It's a game of chess at over 200 kilometers per hour.
And with the gaps we're seeing, even a small mistake could be very costly as the race progresses. Every corner truly matters here at Longford.
Every single one. And as the fuel burns off and the tires degrade, the car's balance changes, demanding even more from the driver. It's a constant adaptation, trying to maintain that lap time even when the car doesn't want to cooperate.
Adam Tias is in 6th place, running a 2:28.687 last lap, and is now just 9/10 behind Joel Lemrick, who holds 5th position.
Less than a second to Lemrick, Tias is really closing in. He's found some pace, and that's exactly what you need to do at this stage, pick off the cars ahead one by one.
Adam Tias remains in 6th, but Joel Lemrick has extended his lead in 5th to 1.3 seconds, gaining some ground there.
Lemrick has clearly responded to the pressure from Tias. Finding that extra bit of pace when you know someone's coming for you is a sign of a focused driver.
Martin Mull is in 3rd, setting some scorching times. His last lap was a 2:25.788, but Rich Snape in 2nd is still a second and 3/10 ahead.
Mull is absolutely flying out there, really putting the hammer down. If he can maintain that pace, he'll be challenging Snape very soon. Every 10th counts at this level.
Phil Bodkin is holding 9th position. His lead over Tim Weller in 10th has now come down to 3.3 seconds. Phil Botkin remains in 9th. He's managed to slightly increase his lead over Tim Weller in 10th, now up to 3.6 seconds.
Every little bit helps. When you're managing a gap, those few extra tenths can be incredibly valuable for breaking the toe or just getting a clearer line through the corners.
Martin Mull is in 3rd and has absolutely eaten into Rich Snape's lead. The gap to 2nd place is now just 0.6 of a second. Mull is still closing. The gap to Rich Snape in 2nd is down to just 0.4 now. This is getting incredibly tense.
Snape has to be feeling the pressure. Mull is right there, pushing him hard. Maintaining focus and hitting your marks perfectly becomes absolutely critical when someone is this close.
Chris Stokes is running in 4th position with a 2.8 second lead over Adam Tias in 5th. Chris Stokes holds 4th, but Adam Tias has managed to shave a few tenths off that gap, now 2.5 seconds behind in 5th. Martin Mull is still in 3rd, and he's only 3 tenths behind Rich Snape in 2nd. This is a proper duel for that runner-up spot. Martin Mull has done it. He's passed Rich Snape and is now in 2nd position. Snape is right behind him, nose to tail, 0 gap.
What a move from Mull. He's been relentless, chipping away at that lead, and he finally made it stick. Now the pressure shifts. He has to hold off Snape, who will be immediately looking for a way back.
Chris Stokes holds 4th, managing to extend his lead over Adam Tias in 5th to 3.6 seconds. Chris Stokes maintains that 3.6 second advantage over Adam Tias. No change there in 4th and 5th. Phil Botkin is in 9th position, and Tim Weller has closed right up in 10th, the gap now a tight 1.6 seconds. Phil Botkin remains in 9th, and it looks like he's managed to stabilize that gap, now 2.4 seconds ahead of Tim Weller in 10th.
It's always a relief when you can stretch out the gap slightly, even if it's just a few tenths. It gives you a moment to breathe and focus on your own driving, rather than constantly defending.
Nigel Walters is now in 6th position, and has pulled out an 8 tenths lead over Joel Lemrick in 7th. A significant change here. Nigel Walters has dropped back to 7th, with Joel Lemrick now in 6th and over 3 seconds ahead.
That's a big swing in positions and time. Something must have happened for Walters to lose that much ground so quickly. It's tough to recover from that kind of deficit at this stage of the race.
Martin Mull is now in 3rd, and Rich Snape has pulled out a 2-second lead in 2nd. Mull just set a new best lap of 2:25.476.
Mull is still pushing hard, but Snape has found some extra pace, or Mull made a small error to allow that gap to open up. A 2-second gap isn't insurmountable, but it requires absolute perfection to close.
Tim Weller is in 10th, making inroads on Phil Botkin in 9th. He's just 7 tenths behind as they navigate the tricky viaduct section. Tim Weller remains in 10th, but Phil Botkin has managed to stretch his lead in 9th back to 1.2 seconds. Weller just couldn't quite make that move stick.
Sometimes you get right on their tail but just can't find that final bit of pace or angle to make the pass work. It can be incredibly frustrating from inside the cockpit, especially when you know you're faster in certain sections.
Chris Stokes is running in 4th, with Martin Mull now 2.9 seconds ahead in 3rd position. Chris Stokes holds 4th, but Martin Mull has pushed that gap in 3rd out to 3.4 seconds, really solidifying his position. Phil Botkin is in 9th, but Tim Weller is closing in again in 10th, just 7 tenths of a second behind. Phil Bodkin remains in ninth, and that gap to Tim Weller has increased again to 1.2 seconds. This battle is really ebbing and flowing.
It's a tough one because they're both pushing. Sometimes the car just feels better on one lap than the next, or you hit traffic. Those small fluctuations create these back and forth gaps.
Tim Weller is absolutely flying. He's closed the gap to Phil Bodkin in ninth to just 0.4 of a second. Tim Weller has made the move. He's now in ninth position, having passed Phil Bodkin, who is just 0.2 behind in 10th.
That's a fantastic overtake by Weller. He's been patient, waiting for his moment, and really executed it perfectly. Now the challenge is to hold that position and try to open up a gap.
Phil Bodkin is back in ninth on the pit straight, with Tim Weller just half a second behind in 10th. This battle for ninth and 10th is absolutely relentless. Phil Bodkin is still holding ninth, with Tim Weller in 10th remaining at that half-second gap. They are glued together.
This is a true cat and mouse game. Each driver is trying to break the other's resolve. The psychological aspect is immense when you're racing this closely for so long.
Tim Weller is now in ninth, with Phil Bodkin ahead in eighth, a gap of 1.3 seconds between them.
Weller has certainly put in the work to gain that position. Now he's got to focus on consolidating it and trying to find the pace to challenge further up.
Chris Stokes is absolutely flying in fourth, setting a new best lap of 2:26.566 and extending his lead over Adam Tias in fifth to a commanding 4.5 seconds. Chris Stokes continues to extend his lead in fourth, now over 5 seconds clear of Adam Tias in fifth position. Phil Bodkin is in eighth, trying to hold off Tim Weller in ninth. The gap between them is just 0.9 of a second as they power through Tannery Corner. Phil Bodkin remains in eighth, and has managed to extend his lead over Tim Weller in ninth to 1.7 seconds. What an absolute roller coaster of a race we're witnessing, particularly in that mid-pack.
The battles for position have been incredible. You see drivers making a move, then being immediately countered. It's a testament to the competition out there. Nobody is giving an inch.
That fight between Phil Bodkin and Tim Weller for 9th and 10th has been a highlight. They've traded places multiple times now.
That's exactly what I mean. You pass someone, and you instantly know they're coming back at you. You have to anticipate, defend, and then try to break their toe. It's mentally exhausting.
It's clear that the drivers are really extracting everything from these classic machines, pushing them to their absolute limits around Longford.
And the track plays a huge part in that. Longford is fast, but it also demands precision. A small mistake here, especially in the faster sections, costs you a lot of time, or worse.
Martin Mull is in third and is once again closing in on Rich Snape in second. The gap is now just 0.4 after Mull set another blistering best lap of 2:25.391. Martin Mull is absolutely relentless. He's closed the gap to Rich Snape in second even further, now just 0.2 of a second.
0.2 is no gap at all. Mull is right there, right on his bumper. Snape has to be driving perfectly, because the slightest slip will be an open invitation.
Neil Constable Barry is now in 9th place, battling through Pub Corner, and is a second and 0.6 behind Phil Bodkin in 8th. Neil Constable Barry is closing in on Phil Bodkin. The gap for 8th place is now down to just 1 second.
He's clearly found some pace. That Matra M630 BRM is a good car, and Constable Barry is making it work. That's a real threat for Bodkin now.
Martin Mull is still in third, powering through the flying mile, and Rich Snape in second is now just half a second ahead. This is edge of your seat stuff.
This is where the power cars really stretch their legs, and Mull is trying to use every inch to close that final gap. Snape needs to be perfect through here.
Neil Constable Barry in 9th is now a second and a half behind Phil Bodkin in 8th position. Neil Constable Barry continues to chip away at Phil Bodkin's lead for 8th. It's now down to 1.2 seconds.
He's consistent, that's what's making the difference. Even if he's not gaining huge chunks, those steady tenths add up over time. Bodkin will be very aware of him.
Martin Mull is in 3rd, holding that half-second gap to Rich Snape in 2nd. A slight fluctuation in lap times but still incredibly close. Martin Mull is still in 3rd, maintaining that pressure on Rich Snape, now just 4 tenths behind in 2nd. Phil Bodkin has dropped to 10th position, now a second and a half behind Tim Weller, who is in 9th after that slower lap.
That's a significant drop in pace for Bodkin, over 8 seconds slower than his best. Something definitely happened there, perhaps a moment wide or a small spin. That's really going to hurt his race.
Chris Stokes holds 4th, navigating Tannery Corner, but Martin Mull in 3rd has pulled out a significant 7-second lead. Chris Stokes in 4th has managed to claw back a few tenths from Martin Mull. The gap to 3rd is now 6.7 seconds.
Every tenth gained is a small victory, especially when you're looking at a larger gap like that. It shows he's not giving up, still pushing to maintain a strong position.
Jareth Hallam is cruising towards the checkered flag. He's just 20 seconds away, with a massive 25.5 second lead over Rich Snape in 2nd. And Jareth Hallam crosses the line. A dominant performance from start to finish, a magnificent victory here at Longford. Martin Mull comes across the line in a hard-fought 2nd place. What a race for him, climbing from 4th on the grid. And Rich Snape completes the podium, crossing the line in 3rd position. A brilliant effort, holding his starting grid spot and battling all the way. Chris Stokes finishes in 4th, with Joel Lemrick taking a solid 5th place. Adam Tias crosses the line in a commendable 6th position.
He really held his nerve out there. 6th is a strong result, particularly after some of those mid-race battles. Consistency paid off for him.
And Niall Gagan brings it home in 7th place. Neil Constable Barry takes the checkered flag in 8th position. Phil Bodkin crosses the line in 9th, a hard-earned result after that incredible battle for position.
He really gave it his all in that fight for the lower points. To finish 9th after all that dicing shows real determination and racecraft.
And Tim Weller completes the top 10, finishing in 10th position. Nigel Walters takes the flag in 11th place. Thomas Kruger Dorado finishes his race in 12th position.